home.
Welcome in to the DNVR Avalanche Podcast, live from the Toyota Lounge, powered by your Front Range Toyota dealerships and presented by Bet365. We got AJ and Rudo coming to you. I mean, geez, we were on air 12 hours ago, basically, for the post game of Game 1.
So much has changed.
It's been a long 12 hours, for sure. We'll talk about
still want to know.
They are still want to know. That's true. We'll talk about how they can build on that successful Game 1 win, what, if anything, needs to change, whether that be lineup, systems, or otherwise. But before we get into all of that and what the next couple of weeks hold for the Avalanche, let's talk about the news of the day, the first of which being Kyle Connor officially signs an 8x12 deal with the Winnipeg Jets. Now, this is tangentially related to the Avalanche because of Marty Necas. And you look at some of the other contracts, you look at what people have been talking about. The Kaprizov one feels a little bit of an outlier at $17 million a year. That's a ridiculous number. That is Kaprizov squeezing Minnesota for every cent. You look at Connor McDavid, who takes a sweetheart deal for a couple of years to stay in Edmonton and try and win. He's also a center, so it's hard to really peg that one down as one relevant to the Necas contract negotiations. But now we get Kyle Connor at 8x12, and you really have one solid point on the graph that you can work off of when it comes to working on Marty's next deal, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that it becomes, as you mentioned, the two that had been signed, Kaprizov is, he shot for the moon and he got it.
Yep.
And McDavid gave the sweetheart deal. So those are tough. Like, neither one of them I thought was really going to was really going to have much of an impact on that conversation. They're both sort of in their own class and different situations entirely. But Connor was the most comparable. Connor and Kempe are the most comparable. And why this helps the Avalanche is that Connor's been way more productive than Marty Necas.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking, he's got 4 straight seasons of more than 30 goals. Marty Necas has 0 in his career. That includes 2 40-goal seasons from Kyle Connor. He's got a couple of 90-point seasons under his belt. 3 of his last 4 have been 80+. Like, he's highly, highly, highly productive. And Necas hasn't been that. He just hasn't been. But it's not at 26 years old with Necas. You're like, I don't think he'll get, because of the age and depending on when it gets signed, I think this gives them like a ceiling to work from. Like, you can't get 12 million.
Yep.
It was already going to be like, are you really going to get 12 million? Like, it would have taken what? 110-point season, 35 goals,
something like that.
It would have been like a special year out of Necas to get that kind of money, and it would have had to be at the end of the year. This helps move the ball forward a little bit, where you say, okay, there's a cap here, 12 million, tough to justify for Marty Necas now.
Yeah.
So now you're working backwards. All right. Well, he should get more than. He probably should get more than whatever Alex Tuch is going to get, because he's more productive and younger than that guy. But that guy hasn't signed yet.
Yep.
So need that to happen. So this feels, it has long felt like 10.5 was kind of where this was going to be headed. And we were dreaming that maybe they would find a way to get it under 10, but I think it's going to be hard.
For a while now, that 10.5 number is the I feel uncomfortable about it, but am willing to do it, and that's usually where these types of things end up. So,
yeah, and if he's absolutely trying to extract every last cent out of this,
maybe he squeezes 11. Yeah,
where it's like he knows he has maximum leverage because the Avalanche love the player. They do not want to go through this again with trading this guy and then trying to find a package that works. And here's a player that works because they're not going to trade Marty Necas for futures,
Yeah.
And so it's like, hey, if push comes to shove, are you really going to let this thing fall apart over 500K? Like, that's where I think it's, if 11 is like if they're really trying to cut deep, but that's with the context of if they are in this range.
Yeah,
of trying to get this done early, like in the next month, if they want to get this done. Because if they all are like, "Hey, we'll just wait this out," if Necas is like, "No, I'm not doing. I'm fully betting on myself to go out and be awesome this season," then there isn't a lot Colorado can do about that.
Is that how realistic do we think the Avs getting this done soon is? Because deadlines are deadlines. The one that has just passed was the start of the regular season, and Marty is not signed. So what is the next break point, I guess, in these negotiations?
Well, so Kaprizov gets the deal. McDavid gets the deal. Those are important milestones. Connor gets the deal before the Winnipeg season starts. Eichel is rumored to be trying to get the deal across the finish line before today. And Eichel's not like not a great
Necas,
not a great comparable, just like more big money that's going to be going to somebody, right?
Yep.
Because if Eichel gets like 11, then the Avalanche are like, oh,
cool. You want 9.5, Marty? Yeah,
right. Like, hey, we're really going to have some of these conversations. But I think that the cluster, the Tuck, Necas, Kempe cluster can really start getting a move on now that because Connor was like the top of that
the
band.
Grouping, yeah.
And so now that he has signed, I think it's a lot easier to work backwards for those three guys. I would love to see it get done in the next month. I wouldn't even be surprised to see it get done in the next month. That way everybody kind of gets a feel for, all right, how's this going? We're feeling good about it. This team's really good. If he's comfortable and I know the Avs are comfortable. The Avs really like him. They want him to stay. They should be in good position. They've got cap space. They obviously have to keep an eye on Cale Makar and like the future. You can't just go buck wild with it. But I think after Burns gets his money that will vest at some point, I think they have something like 21 million in cap space next year.
Yeah, it's the cap
with a couple of guys to sign.
Crazy these days.
Yeah. They will have a couple of guys to sign still, but Necas will take up the bulk of that money, and should be easy. I think the 8 years. He's 26 years old, so you're talking about getting him into his mid-30s.
Get all of his prime, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the biggest. That's the biggest lever that the Avalanche can pull.
Yep.
The fighting on dollars is something that anybody can do, right? But the Avalanche can just splash down and say, okay, we'll give you an 8th year, but we're going to drop that AAV a few million, and there's nothing that the teams out on the open market can realistically do.
In a year's time, teams won't even be able to give an 8th year ever. So,
right, and that's a really important, because like if a guy wants the 8 years and a team is like, this is what we have to do to get this player. This is your last chance to do it. Yeah, it's your last shot at it, because now you're going from, I guess it's more relevant to like the Makar free agency class, where he could sign for 8 years on July 1st, but if he goes past the September 16th next year, then even if he wanted to get into the open market, he can only get a 6-year deal at that point. So, really, really big deal there. A short-term deal for Necas doesn't like what McDavid did makes no sense. Yep. Honestly, this is his shot at it. Mm-hmm. He should go for the big bucks right now.
Yep, it's the one big one. for Natchez for sure. So that's where you're at with the Natchez conversation. Obviously, he puts 2 goals in game 1, so he probably is feeling pretty good backing himself right now, but we'll see.
Yep. Tied for the league lead in goals. Do you know who he's tied with?
Nazar only scored 1.
It's Justin Brazeau.
He got one of the empty netters for Pittsburgh. Huh?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Yep, he sure did.
Early season stats are definitely meaningful and not nonsense.
Yep. It's fun. There is a 10-way tie for league leader in points right now with 2.
The Avs
4 of them are Avs.
Yeah. Pretty good. Pretty good stuff from the Avs. The other piece of news for the Avs today, Jack Ashan did get reassigned to the Colorado Eagles. Presumably that means Solovyov's visa situation should be getting sorted out, and he should be expected to join the team soon.
Yeah. It also, they're back home, right?
True, but
you bring the extra guy on the road. It's a little easier, you know. When you're in Loveland, it's a lot easier to just be like, okay.
They still can't just call him back up right away anymore like they could last year, though. So it is a little more complicated, but yeah.
Yeah. So that's, with Keaton Middleton clearing waivers, they could easily just be like, we choose that guy instead.
Yeah, sure.
So, we'll see. I'm excited to see the new guy. And honestly, last night, from what we saw, that's a good team, right? The Kings, they're solid. And I had really no issues with Sam Malinsky. I was way more critical of Sam Malinsky on the left side during the preseason than I was last night in the game that mattered. I went back this morning and rewatched it. I was keeping an eye. I went through all of his shifts and was like, how we doing here? Hey, some like, not even like mistakes, but more just like, you could tell he's still some of that awkward transition to the left side is taking place.
I don't know that. I mean, his biggest mistake of the night had nothing to do with him playing the left side, to be honest. But
yeah,
I did feel like there's still a little bit. You can see him fighting the wanting to play things out of the right side. His first thought, you can still tell, is him cheating to the right side a little bit at times and things like that. But I didn't really have any major issues, and I think a decent portion of that is you put an NHL defenseman on his right side, which helps a lot to lift their own weight, as opposed to putting Jack Ashan also on his offside on Malinsky's pairing, and they're both just like, okay.
Yeah. Everything's backwards for both of them.
Yep. So, I don't have a ton of complaints there. We'll have this conversation about a couple of guys on the show as we get further into it, but since we're talking about Solovyov, what's it going to take for him to even get into a game for the Avs in this early part of the season?
Well, if Malinsky wasn't good, I think there would be a temptation to put him in there. And I think that's really it. Like, you're waiting. You're just waiting for it's really like you're waiting for him.
Sure.
Not to look very good. Because the other 5 guys you're not pulling out of that lineup. You're not healthy scratching any of those 5. So it's really just like Malinsky is it.
There's no thought of maybe doing a little bit of load management with someone like a Josh Manson. I know you're not doing.
I thought you were going to say.
No, he's got his Iron Man streak. I know you're not doing that, but
I was going to say, you trying to get into a fight with the coach over this? No, I don't think so. Especially like then you're getting into something totally unknown. Like you're choosing to get into something totally unknown.
Yeah.
So I don't think so. I wouldn't do it. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I would just wait for like a Malinsky off day and be like, hey, this isn't even so much about you.
Giving you a reset. Yep.
Yeah. We want to give you a day off. We want to we want to see what this kid has. We want to, take a look. But I don't know that he'll play a lot until injury strikes.
I think that's a fair assessment. For what it's worth, we've talked about this before, but he can play both sides to some extent. So it's pretty easy to see him slotting in as that first injury guy, but then we'll see what he has. So, hi, Tiff.
Hi, Tiff.
Hi.
We do need to take our first break of the show, as we are brought to you by one of our new partners in Dick's Sporting Goods. Make sure you're getting over. Stop by your local Dick's Sporting Goods for the hottest apparel and footwear from top brands like Nike, Adidas, Originals, FP Movement, VRST, Calia, DNVR. That's right. You can get DNVR shirts and hats at your local Dick's now, and much more than that. Plus, score the latest equipment for baseball, football, soccer, basketball, golf, and all your tailgating essentials. If you find a lower price, Dick's will guarantee they match it with their best price guarantee. So get your gear fast with free curbside pickup at your nearest store or easy shipping from Dicks.com, because every season starts at Dick's. Super excited about this partnership too. Super cool. You can get the DNVR merch at Dick's, like I mentioned, pretty much anywhere in the Front Range. You can find some DNVR stands in your local Dick's. So go check them out. Once you got all your sports gear at Dick's, make sure you're getting yourself a little bit of fun betting on sports when it comes to Bet365. Bet365, an official partner of the Colorado Avalanche. They've got a bunch of amazing deals like parlay boosts or early payouts, tons of other stuff. But the best deal you can get when you download the app, sign up with code DNVR365, and new customers will get $200 in bonus bets when you bet $5, win or lose. You don't even have to hit the bet, and you get $200 in bonus bets. You do need to deposit $10 in your account, place that $5 bet, and use the DNVR365 code to get the $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. Bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, player props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. So get over there, throw some bets down, whether it's on the Avs or otherwise. The Avs did cover, so made some money on my bets if you're watching the pregame show for Game 1. Not too shabby. Not too shabby on that one. With Bet365, of course, you must be 21 or older, physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER today. Second period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast, and we can really start to dive into our bulk of the show here, as Game 1 win is great. You should feel good about it. I certainly feel good about it. But what are the next steps here for Colorado? AJ, how do you turn a Game 1 win into the start of a season that the Avs want to have to make their life easier?
I think it's really just build off what they did. They were really solid at 5v5. And there was that typical, like, first game kind of like muck and grind. Yep. But also, like, the Kings play that way. Like, the Kings live that life. And we saw the Kings wanted to get into more of a physical, like, defensively oriented tilt, and the Avs were like, cool, we're good with that. And when the game went that way, the Avalanche were still plenty competitive, and then when it opened up a little bit more, the Avalanche really took over. So I think that that's the most encouraging thing to take from last night, other than the win itself, is that you're playing a defensively stout team that wants to slow it down and wants to keep you from moving through the neutral zone with speed, and they were fine. They didn't look lost. They didn't look uncomfortable being like, all right, we're going to chip, we're going to chase. They created, you look at their second goal, the Malinsky goal.
Yep. Hard work in
They get a puck in.
Yeah.
Yep. They get a puck in deep. Kiviranta goes in. He lays the body, helps get that puck moved around. Malinsky picks it up off the wall, shoots it, and you're good. Boom. You have a 2-0 lead.
It's just that easy.
It's hard work.
Yeah.
It's not sexy. It's not highlight reel worthy stuff. You know, it's not jaw dropping, but it's certainly not what Cale Makar did to that poor kid on the third goal. You know, like it's meat and potatoes. It's sixful. It's repeatable, and it's the big difference is that last year, the last couple years worth of bottom sixes for the Avalanche were they're good defensively. They can go out there and they can grind you down into dust, but when it came time to score, it was like, all right, nothing happened. Yeah. get the big guns back out on the ice. And that wasn't really the case. Each of the lines had their moments last night offensively. Every line created at least one grade A scoring chance. And that's a really encouraging sign.
Third line struggled a little bit, but yeah.
Ross Colton still had that really good one-timer opportunity in the first period, in front of Darcy Kemper.
It's true.
That's I think that's the only one that they managed to create, but they created it, right? Yeah. Also, P.S. I wasn't intending to do it. It wasn't part of my rewatch of the game, but I noticed Jack Drury a lot more this morning when I rewatched it, and I was like,
board work was so good, man. Like
really solid throughout, up and down the ice. Jack Drury, I was like, the offense is going to be a question, right?
Yep.
But just as a facilitator of quality hockey, the guy is he's the connective tissue to smart hockey, effective hockey.
It's with kind of what you're talking about. I think it's an interesting. I don't know that it's necessarily a strategical decision or anything like that, but when you look at great teams, there's kind of two different avenues, right? If you're truly dominant, you can impose your will on the majority of games that you play and play the way that you want to play. But you can also be dominant by being able to win in any system, right? Regardless of the style of game that you're playing, regardless of the style of the opponent, you can match them and beat them at their own game. And I'm curious which you think is more important this year for the Avs. Do you want to see the Avs dominate in playing their style and forcing it upon teams, or do you want to see the Avs find ways to win games regardless of the style of the game?
It's the latter.
Okay.
More than the former. I want to see them. I want to see them be comfortable in every situation that they're in, and not look like they're overwhelmed, or not look like they don't know how to handle this moment. Whatever the moment might be. Now, if they're down 5-0, then whatever.
That's an extreme situation, but yeah.
hopefully it's in Buffalo, because you'll still have a chance. But if this can be a team that is comfortable in all styles, all speeds, it's not always going to be fun, but if they can understand and have the confidence that they can play that certain kind of style, whatever the style may be, then I like that more than the team that, yes, they can impose their will, but when they don't, they look lost. We have seen two teams that I can think of off the top of my head that are really, really good examples of that in recent years: Edmonton and Dallas.
Yep. When
they play their brand of hockey, they're awesome.
They get a lead. Well, in Dallas's case, they get a 1-goal lead and then shut the game down.
Yeah. And when those two teams are kind of out of their skin a little bit,
they struggle. Yeah.
They really look uncomfortable, and they don't. And that's been a big thing with Florida. You want to play a little up-tempo? Great. You want to play a little nasty? Great. Like,
they can do it all. You can do it all.
Yeah, and all three levels of their roster are really talented, and they've got a variety of skill sets up and down their lineup, forwards, defensemen, all of it. And I think that's what the Avalanche are trying to achieve. And right now, I feel pretty good about it. The Avalanche were really physical last night.
Yeah,
they really embraced. You guys want to get crazy? This sounds fun.
To a level that
let's do this.
I genuinely don't remember them ever getting it to that level last year.
No, not at all, man. I mean, they were, frankly, when it got to 4-0, they became unglued. And if it was 2-0, you're mad.
Kept it like high and tight, yeah.
Yeah, you're like, relax. But even Bednar in postgame last night, we listened to it on the show, where he was like, yeah, 4-0, they felt a certain kind of way. I just let them handle it. Fair enough, man.
Yeah.
Like there's a time to pull back on the reins, and you don't want to discourage a team from going to battle for one another the way that they did.
Agree with that.
And given the score of the game, I was about it. If that's a 1 or 2 goal game in the third period, and you're just like, randomly going out and smoking
Josh
guys
Manson
because you're mad,
killing a man. Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, Nathan McKinnon chased Brandt Clark down.
He also did,
and just bullied him.
Yeah.
And then Josh Manson just saw the opportunity and his eyes just lit up and he was like, it's Christmas time. I'm tattooing this fool. And that's,
And when it's
it
4-0,
out.
pop off king. Yeah.
Exactly. When it's 4-0 and you're in the final 10 minutes of the game, you're like, I'm taking liberties.
Comment in the Toyota chat here about Jack Roslovic. AJ, I'm curious. At this point, for $1 million, would you call up Roslovic's agent and say $1 million, bud?
No.
Okay.
I want to see more of what I want to see, because if you get Jack Roslovic, where is he going to play? What's he going to do? You haven't answered any of your questions. You don't know what you have in Jack Drury as a 3C. You don't know what you have in Victor Olofsson. You don't know what you have in Gavin Brindley. You don't know what you have in Zakhar Bardakov. This is an opportunity for you to answer some of those questions. And when inevitably one of those guys does not quite live up to his billing, that's what the deadline is for.
Yep.
I think with Roslovic, if it was a bulletproof on ice profile, sure, I'd be a lot more interested. But there are so many red flags all over his production that people, I think, have talked themselves into Jack Roslovic being a little bit better than he actually is. If there were a lot of teams out there that thought he could repeat 22 goals from the last year, he'd have a job.
Yep.
But I think there's a lot of people around the league that feel the way that I do about it. There's an attitude issue historically that has followed him. There's a little bit of entitlement that he has carried with him throughout his career, and he just can't. I just don't think that he can repeat that kind of performance. But
fair enough.
I tell you what, if there's an injury of note and he's still out there,
swoop in. Yeah,
my math changes.
Yep.
But at the moment, I think I'm good.
I think I agree. Certainly, if he's still around by game 10 and you have a little bit more clarity on what you have, especially down the middle, maybe you start having that conversation. But
yeah, agreed.
Speaking of, go ahead.
To get there, they need to figure out what to do with Zakhar Bardakov.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll get to that conversation a little bit. But I do want to take a look at the schedule for the Colorado Avalanche and the first 10 games of the season that we're looking at here. Obviously, the win against LA is great. It feels like in recent years, the Avs have had a lot of time off at the start of seasons, but that's not really the case this year. You're playing every other day or every third day, pretty much straight through October and for most of the season because of that Olympic break that they have this year. We talk about 10-game segments a lot. Obviously, on a basic level, the goal is to go better than 500, but the Avs have an opportunity here to really set themselves up for success in the early part of this season. You have Utah, who are they this year? It could be tough to say. Dallas is a good team. But then you get Buffalo, Columbus, Boston. That's 3 East Coast teams that are not expected to be that good this year. What is a record?
Yeah.
10 games into this season, what is a record that you would consider success, AJ?
I mean, I want 7-3 minimum out of that.
Okay.
You look at the first big roadblock was LA, and then Dallas and Carolina and New Jersey are the next ones.
Yep.
So
that Utah team always gives the Avs fits, though.
Yeah, they do. But I don't care. Beat them, please. And that back-to-back is going to be tough in, like, Boston, Jersey. Back-to-back is going to be a tough one.
Yeah, on the road. It's never, back-to-backs are never easy, but,
Yeah.
Are the Avs still the best record in the league on Sega Babas? I think they are.
Probably. I mean, their like 5 or 6 year record on it is unreal good.
It's outrageous how good they've been. So
you'd feel a lot better if it was Jersey first and Boston second.
It's true.
You'd feel a lot better about that.
Boston is a lot more beatable on the tired legs.
You want to hear something that sucks?
Do I?
Yeah. Not only is that a back-to-back, the Boston game is at 1 p.m. and the Devils game is at 11 a.m.
Yeah.
Fun.
That blows.
Fun times.
Yeah. That it gets like an early start on so many afternoon games for the Avs this year.
Yeah, there's like
there's 3
15
on this
matinee
list right
games.
here.
Yeah, I know.
Because the Buffalo game is I think it's a 10:30 Mountain start.
That's
Yes,
so
can confirm.
That's so
Yeah.
dumb. The schedule is weird this
On
year.
a Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The classic.
Assuming that's Columbus Day.
Yeah, it is.
Tight.
Okay. We do need to take our second break of the show, so let's make sure we hit that and get our bills paid here. As you can get yourself an ice cold Coors Light. The Mountains turn blue on the bottle or the can to let you know it's ice cold and ready to drink, so you can choose chill. Literally, the beer is cold. You can choose chill. Coors Light available everywhere in the country and pretty much every liquor store in the country. But if you want to chill at home and still get your Coors Light, you can head to CoorsLight.com/DNVR and get it delivered right to your front door thanks to Instacart. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. When you embrace a chill mindset, it's a good time to choose chill and crack open a Coors Light. So make sure you're getting with them, whether it's at the rink, sure. At the rink, at home, or here at the bar, you can come get yourself some Coors Light. Make the most out of the times you choose to chill. Choose Coors Light and get it delivered right to your front door with CoorsLight.com/DNVR. Of course, Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Please drink responsibly. And then, if you do not order your Coors Light and you need to go pick it up from the liquor store, make sure you get yourself into the official vehicle of DNVR, which is Toyota. They're also the official vehicle of the Colorado Avalanche, and they have a vehicle for everybody. Whether it be trucks, SUVs, sedans, or anything in between, Toyota's got it all with 17 different vehicles with all or four-wheel drive to make sure you're staying safe on the roads. Or if you like going off-roading, you can have that traction out in the mud, too. They, of course, have trucks in their DNA for generations. You can jump in with one of those, including even a hybrid truck like the Tundra iForce Max. And they have the most low and zero emission vehicles combined compared to any other automaker out there. So get to your Front Range Toyota stores at a location near you, including AutoNation Toyota Raplin, Centennial, Corwin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota in Aurora, and Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Toyota, the official vehicle of the Colorado Avalanche and DNVR. Let's go places. Third period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast. AJ,
What up?
look, any win is a win, right? They're all of equal import, technically, in the regular season. Every win's worth 2 points, no matter how you shake it. But how important is it for the Avs to get off to a good start this year to... I don't want to say it's as important as slaying demons or anything, but to put some of the struggles of last season behind them.
No, I think it's great for their confidence, and I think it's really important for them to not chase the season. But I also think it's really important to put the immediate pressure on the teams around them.
Sure.
Which Saturday Dallas comes to town. That's a really good game to get a start on it. Where, you beat them, you would love to be moving to 3-0. This first 10-game segment, you go 7-3 or better. Ideally, you're going 9-1, 8-2.
Yeah.
And you're saying, hey, you want them to spend all season. Exactly. You want them to spend all season chasing you instead of you having to chase them down and hope that they go through a lull. Everybody's going to go through a lull at some point.
Yep.
It's inevitable. There's too many games. Hockey's too random. It's too hard of a game. The league is too talented.
Yep.
I think it's imperative that they get off to a good start and they not have to expend the energy that they have the last couple of years just trying to stay in it.
I think that's
because
fair point. Yeah.
Through the first 40 or 50 games the last couple of seasons, first place has kind of been gone.
Yep.
It's just been out of contact for them. Yeah. And, obviously so many injuries played a major consideration into that, and the goaltending issues, especially last year. Oh my God. But I think that if they can get on the front foot and make everybody come and get them, that's the power pose.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
Look, these are professional teams, professional athletes. Don't get me wrong. They're in unbelievable shape. I'm not trying to say these guys are going to gas out in an 82-game season and the whole meme of rest is a weapon or whatever. But there is a little bit more emphasis on giving yourself some breathing room there because of the Olympic break, because of the crunch of the schedule that you're going to get this season. If you can do a little bit of load management down the stretch, it's going to help you. Is it a massive advantage? No, but it could be a little one.
Yeah. Well, and think of how nice it was for them that obviously in 22, the 10 games.
Yep.
They were resting guys. They're just kind of hanging out. Very they went balls to the wall for 70 games. And they were awesome for 60 of them.
Yep.
Just do that.
It's
so easy.
Just be great for 60 games and then chill. Yeah. It's fine.
Just be a cool 120-point pace team. No problem.
Why can't you just do that? Obviously. I think it is worth noting you're looking at this schedule. I don't have a specific date, but the hope is by the end of these 10 games, or maybe even before that, you have Mackenzie Blackwood back in the fold to some extent. He did.
So
go ahead.
They didn't put him on IR.
Yeah, they didn't put him on IR. He did practice with the team a couple days ago. It didn't look like he was super close to ready, but he is practicing properly now.
Yeah, but if they don't put him on IR, that would lend credence to the idea that they think that they're getting him back
sooner
before Buffalo.
You think it's going to be that soon?
5 days is we'll see. I think that's probably ambitious, but
I had before Carolina kind of pegged, but before that back-to-back really. But
yeah, I mean, it'd be nice before they go out east for that Boston, New Jersey.
Yeah. Just speculation, of course, but it is something to note that is something the Avs are expecting to get back sometime in the near future. We already talked about Solovyov. And then also, not really in this first 10-game window, but not too far after that, you're expecting the return of Logan O'Connor, too. So we watched an Avs team that looked pretty good on opening night and we think is quite a good team. And, knock on wood that no other injuries crop up, but they're going to continue adding pieces to this lineup just by getting guys back.
Yeah. Yeah, and, the other injuries we know will crop up, unfortunately.
Of course.
It's just
they always do.
But,
yeah.
I mean, this isn't to dog anybody, but you don't want those to be top 6, top 4.
Those are more important. They just are.
Yeah. And you do feel like with Wedgwood, you are feeling a lot better. Well, I mean, you don't want your top goalie to miss an extended period of time. But if he misses
you can get
a
away
couple
with
of
it.
weeks,
Yeah.
And that schedule that we've been looking at, it's not super, super difficult.
You're not
you
going
would
against
think
the top
that
5 teams in the league on repeat. Yeah.
Yeah, Buffalo, Columbus, Boston, those are some winnable games that you might be able to sneak a Trent Miner into if you need to.
Yep. Agree.
And another important factor here, the Olympic break. Because of that break, you mentioned earlier that they don't have the same number of days off stretched out at the beginning of the year.
Yep.
That's really important for your goaltending because we would see it. There was so much conversation about Georgiev about, he's played 9 games in a row or whatever. But when you went and looked, it was there were 2 or 3 days between several of those games.
His average days of rest was 2.5 across that
stretch.
Right.
He wasn't playing. He was playing their games, but he wasn't playing all the time. He wasn't in the grind of it, it would have been in March or April. So it was that is the case this year. It is every other day. The season starts and they get going. They're not wasting any time. We've got a back to back. I think there are 3 2-day breaks this entire month for the team, which is fine.
Yep.
It's it's not a lot, but it's not a dearth of them. You're not going to have a lot of them when you have a condensed schedule. That's the big difference between the early season schedule this year's and previous years. There's no there's 2 days here, and then you play a game, and then you play another game, and then there's 3 days off.
Right. You're not stacking these breaks. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a busy month, but they will have, I believe they have more multi-day breaks. In November, I think they've got a couple of like real long stretches where you're like bored. We're going to be bored for stretches of November.
Yeah. It happens every year.
That'll be fun, I guess.
I'm sure we'll have some good content for it.
I'm looking in November. Yeah. They play Tampa Bay. That's their only game in a 6-day stretch.
Yeah.
And then later in the month, a 6-day stretch, the only game they have is a home game against the Islanders.
So it slows down a little bit there.
Yeah. But when you have a starting goaltender injury now.
Yeah. You're immediately looking at managing the goalie time.
Yeah.
For sure.
And you are wondering, okay, is it easier for us to get a 10:30 a.m. start this really early? We probably want to play Wedgwood. Some experience there. Yep. The Columbus game, normal start time, that should be the minor game.
I'm good with it. All right. AJ, I know it's been sticking in your craw for 24 hours now. We've talked about how you get Solovyov in. We talked in the postgame what Brindley has to do to stay in. What's it going to take to get Zakar Bardakov in the lineup?
I think kind of the same way where it's like a Malinsky poor game. I think if Brindley just doesn't show out for a single, it's not even a poor game. If he just has a quiet game, it's the perfect excuse for Bednar to go, all right, put him in.
Sure.
But also you don't want to go too long. You don't want it to get 4 or 5 games in there. Because then, okay, now this guy hasn't played a game in 2 weeks.
Yep.
Like now you're setting him up for failure. So I don't think it should be too long here. I would do it tomorrow.
I know
my
you
answer
would.
Is like,
yeah.
My answer is like scratch Kiviranta just to see what's up, and I understand why that they wouldn't want to do that.
Sure.
And it's a totally defensible position. It's not like this is really dumb. I understand why the coach is doing it. I just think it's dumb. Like you completely understand why you would want to do that. His importance to the PK, the element of safety that he brings, the chemistry with Kelly, like all of those things all play. All of that matters. It's important. Yep. It's a fair enough like viewpoint. Selfishly, I'm just like, I just want to see him. I just want to see Bardakov. Put him in a real game. We know what Kiviranta looks like. Just put him in a real game. But I think the Buffalo game is a great. If he hasn't gotten into one by then, I would put him in that one.
Okay. I think I agree. You definitely can't let it go too long, but
yeah.
It's one of those scenarios
that's
where
that's like my stretch. Like
sure.
That's the latest I would do it.
Well,
game 4.
It does feel like the Avs have put themselves in a little bit of a bind if Brindley continues to play well. Like you said, for you or me, I think it's an easy decision for us to say, okay, well, just sit Kiviranta or sit Olofsson. But for a head coach in the NHL, as we've talked about so many times, those guys like vets for a reason. They like high floor players. They like knowing what they're going to get on any given night. And as good as Bardakov's preseason was, the fact is Jared Bednar has no idea what you're going to get out of that guy in a real NHL game.
Yeah, and even in fake games, you got penalty issues.
Yep. Which would have fit in fine last night, to be fair, but
I think his super cool visor would have looked awesome next to the matte helmets that the Kings were rocking. I think that would have been a really
with
cool
the matte
contrast.
silver helmets, yeah.
Yeah, that would have been a really cool contrast.
All right, we're getting into Shoresy territory there.
Yeah, you're not wrong there. No, I think it's also like I think Avs fans also need to give Victor Olofsson time too. He's also new to the team, and we always say you want to give a guy 10 games to kind of like he's getting acclimated to the system. He's getting acclimated to all the new that is going on right now. We've seen it so many times over the last, I guess, this whole era of the Avs, the last 9 years. newcomers take some time to get adjusted to how Colorado plays. It's a little different than a lot of teams. There's a lot more of a mental load, and there's the way that they want to play with pace, the way that they go is kind of the mentality in Colorado is it takes adjusting to, and I want to give him a little bit of time because people were completely done with Jonathan Duran after 10 games. Remember, he got healthy scratched in his 11th game, and everybody was like, it's a bust. This guy sucks. He can't do it. And then Jonathan Duran proceeded to be really solid for the next year and a half.
Right. I almost look at that as the other way. And yeah, you do have to give them some time. I'm not saying, he played one game, scratch him, he's a bum. That's not what I'm saying. But Jared Bednar has pretty consistently had a string in his bag for players that can get motivated via a healthy scratch. You mentioned Druin. He did it all the time with Andrei Burakovsky. There are a couple other guys over the course of his tenure here that...
Zadorov.
Yeah, Zadorov. It can help light a fire under a guy. And I'm not saying Olofsson is or is not that guy, but it's something we know Bednar will pull out of the bag if he needs to.
Yeah. Yeah, he can be comfortable with that. And I mean, honestly, the position that they've been put in with Gavin Brindley playing so well throughout the preseason and then through about half of the game last night.
Good problem to have, yeah.
Yeah, you're talking about guys are pushing for jobs, and it's not just like, well, these are the 12 that I have.
Right.
You're looking at, hey, you've got 13 guys that you really like right now, and a 14th guy is on the way in Logan O'Connor when he comes back from injury. That's really going to complicate this math. So, Olofsson, I'm saying give him a little bit of time, but also he's kind of got to hurry.
There should be some pressure.
It gets late real early in the minds of NHL coaches. It can get late real early.
Yep. Speaking of which, I kind of wanted to jump off your conversation with wanting to get Bardakov in game so he's not sitting for too long. When you have a good game one, when you start the right way, more of a thing with shutouts, but if you get a shutout, an NHL coach never wants to change his roster, right? When you're having success, how aggressively do you start to make those changes? Not even necessarily roster changes, but how aggressively should the Avs be adjusting their systems and fine-tuning things, even when it's working?
I mean, you're always trying to get better, right?
Of course.
And now I feel like I've just morphed into Jerry Bednar. You're always trying to improve. You always want to get better. You're always working every day to find ways to improve in the area, the avenues of your game that could use some tweaking. You're always looking for those spots. Right now, I think that the big areas that you're trying to look at, you want to see the third line put together a good game.
Yeah.
You want to see Sam Malinsky continue to perform in his role.
Yep.
And you want both special teams to look good. You'd like a complete game where your special teams look good. Both of them. I really didn't have a huge problem with the PK last night.
Me neither. Outside of a 5-on-3, they were pretty good.
Yeah. The numbers only look bad when you compare them next to what Colorado's anemic power play did.
Sure. Which, that's more of a lack of shots from the power play than anything.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. And it wasn't so much that the Avalanche PK was getting lit up. It gave 5.5 minutes, 2 high danger chances allowed, 2 or 3 scoring chances. Like,
yep. Nothing crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, they've got an extra guy on the ice. They're going to create something.
Yep.
And that was only the 5v4. I'm not counting any of the 5v3.
Right. It was just not meaningful. Yeah.
Yeah.
While you do want to see special teams, I don't really mind. Like, that game felt reasonably complete. Yeah, sure, the first period was pretty slow, but it's not like the Avs were getting bodied in that period. It was sloppy, but it felt like they were competing throughout the entire game. What I will say is, as we talked about earlier, especially against a team like Utah coming up, I want to see what it looks like when the Avs really open it up still. Because they turned up the wick in the second period of that LA game, but that was not the fire wagon, full bore pace hockey that we know the Avs are capable of.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Yep, me too.
I'm excited for them to, especially on home ice. Like, you know how it gets, like the first 5 minutes of the game when they start to globetrotter a little bit.
Yep.
And all of a sudden they're all over teams and they're playing with so much speed and they just bury them. And you're like, whoa, okay, it's 3-0.
Pretty good.
That happened fast. And then the other team is like, gee, what? How did we get here?
Calm down.
That's the good stuff. I want to see one of those.
Me too. You also know there are going to be some tougher games coming too. You're going to have to see throughout the season and somewhere in these first stretch of 10 games, the Avs are going to have to grind some out. It's not going to come easy every single night where they hit the second period and Nathan McKinnon and Cale Makar decide they're just better than everybody else and Marty Nate just has a laser guided shot. So some nights you're going to have to find those greasy goals, the hard work and win a 2-1 game instead of getting to cruise at home in the third period.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
a lot still to come. I'll put it to you that way. The only other thing I really had on the show for today, I assume we covered most of it, but is there any other things you want to see the Avs experiment with? I know in the preseason we had talked about maybe you throw Olofsson on the top power play unit.
Yeah.
Any line combinations you'd like to see the Avs change?
I think that's a good place to start with Olofsson taking Brock Nelson's spot on the top power play unit. You don't need to do it right away, but again, we're kind of focusing on the first 10 game segment here.
Yeah.
If that unit still looks a little awkward, Brock Nelson continues to look out of place in that spot.
Yeah.
It drives me a little crazy because he was a really good bumper player in New York. That's where he scored a lot of goals. That's where he was really effective, right in the middle of the ice.
Yeah.
And they're asking him to be like the Mikko Rantanen one-timer guy over there. And it's just like, you have a really good one in Victor Olofsson. That's what he does. Like, if that's what you want from that guy, let him go do that.
Yep. I agree. I think that's the one change that I would certainly like to see. I would be curious, how do the bottom 2D pairings ultimately shake out? How do you like splitting that time with a potential Gerard Burns pairing continuing through the first 10 games? And then where does Manson slot in? Whatever it ends up being. One of the things I'm keeping my eye on. I'll put it to you that way.
Burns and Gerard actually were fine.
Yeah, I agree.
Because that's the first game that they've played together.
Yep.
They didn't get any preseason time. They didn't get any training camp time. They did not get any of those.
Gerard was hurt. So.
Right. So this is their preseason, right? Like, this is the first time, and like the numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah. The numbers aren't great. Like, their expected goals were pretty bad, but again, it's their first game, and then you look at the actual shots on goal were 5-4 in favor of LA.
It's not like they're giving up a crazy amount of stuff or anything. Yeah.
Yeah. It was one high danger chance against them.
Yep.
Only 3 scoring chances. So
you can live with that.
It's not like they were just bleeding chances left and right. You know,
right.
There was a lot to like there. I know Brent Burns' numbers weren't as good overall last night, but I really liked his game. Also, Brent Burns and Devon Taves together were nasty.
Yeah, on the well, I guess it was Taves and really Manson on the PK that I really liked as well. But
yeah, I am hopeful that they can free up, use some of the additional guys that they have this year, especially while they're healthy, to free up Devon Taves to move around a little bit more and find some extra spots, because that guy's such an eraser of mistakes, and
agree.
He's a floor raiser every time he gets on the ice. Yeah, it's just so good. Like, he's just so good. That's why I wrote about him in Studs and Duds.
P.S. Go check out AJ's Studs and Duds. Also a great time to become a diehard to get access to all of our written content. AJ's massive preview is still up there if you want to read that. We have a bunch of stuff coming as well. great way to support us. It's also a great deal where you get access to our content for a year. You get a free shirt, or you can pay a little bit more to get our hat deal where you get a sick DNVR hat. Jump in with it. Go support us there, and it's a bunch of cool stuff. You get also discounts at the bar, other things. It's all good. Go check it out. You see the deals on screen there. Also, come down to the bar for the home opener tomorrow. If you're not going to the game, show up here, DNVR, watch the game, have a good time at our watch party, and we're giving away free tickets to the game this weekend. So if you come to the bar and enjoy the home opener, you could win yourself tickets to the next Avs game at Ball Arena. Great time also here at the bar to hang out, watch some Avs, and just enjoy some good hockey. All right, last little bit of the show here.
We talking about animals wearing pants yet?
We can. Are we at that point of the show?
I don't know what else you got. We got 5 minutes, so
I don't have a whole lot else. I was gonna say impressions of the coaching staff from one game, but the answer to that is there aren't any really.
Yeah.
So
I mean, the one thing with like Hextall, right? Like it's gonna take time.
yeah, the power play isn't gonna work day one perfectly how you want it to. And what I will say is there was, we said this on the post game too, but there was movement. You had Nathan McKinnon down below the goal line. You had Nathan McKinnon moving his feet. I thought there were some nice plays where McKinnon's trying to set up back there. You had a nice play with McKinnon slashing across that he ends up whiffing on the one-timer, but it was still a well-put-together play that could have created a good opportunity. 1 for 6 isn't great, obviously, but I do think there was some underlying stuff, especially on the earlier power plays that you say, hey, there's something here.
Yeah, the way that they, and we knew that they were looking at different things with the way that they were utilizing Natchez and McKinnon during camp and preseason.
Yeah.
That they wanted to move them around and give different looks. I think that they need to continue with that. What you don't want to do is just settle right back into what you were.
Right.
Makar and McKinnon just back and forth, you know?
Yep. Not really creating anything, to be honest. But is what it is. So we all agree that, like, most hockey players would fall into the Mickey Mouse category, right? Team no
Maybe.
shirt. Team no shirt. As opposed to the Winnie the Pooh team no pants.
I don't know, man. I would be Winnie the Pooh. I would be.
Oh, same.
I would be team no pants all day. I like wearing shirts. They just feel more comfortable.
Where do you even find this graphic, Tiff?
I just Googled.
What is this?
I just Googled.
This is the, like, dichotomy of clothes on Disney characters.
Yeah, we were having a whole conversation about Goofy. I've got a Goofy image search up on the other monitor right now still. Fully clothed.
So the question the question chat was, why does Mickey and Minnie wear pants, but Donald and Daisy wear shirts, and Goofy is fully dressed, and then, Pluto is Pluto?
Yeah, I don't have the answers on this one.
Yeah, how did they decide the clothing up?
Right. It seems completely random for the most part on who's wearing what clothing articles, but maybe we shouldn't question Disney because they'll come sue us or something. That's more of a Nintendo thing. I don't know.
Oh, Disney's pretty litigious. It's mostly just I want to know. I would just love like can I get a press release?
Can we unfreeze Walt Disney and ask him?
Yeah, I don't think the technology's there just yet.
Also, just given what we've learned about that dude, we do not want to unfreeze that guy.
That's true.
We don't want to unfreeze him. We're good. We're good.
You're right.
Yeah. I'm out.
Well,
okay. This is just something that we were having a nice discussion beforehand. Also, somehow the Matrix got involved. So
that did happen.
Pretty rambunctious pre-show chatter today from us that somehow ended up spilling into this. Look, it started because there was the commercial during the game last night about animals wearing
Ducks with
pants, and I was like,
yeah.
I was up all night working, and then it was just in the back of my brain thinking about it, and then Tiff decided to join this with this like
cartoon existential crisis.
Yeah, exactly. And I'd never thought about it, and I was like, oh my god, what's happening here? So now you guys know how we ended up down this rabbit hole.
We are headed into overtime. The conversation continues online at the DNVR.com. Not that there will be much more conversation on the show, but I did want to wrap things up here with, and you don't have to spoil your full studs and duds, but who was the most important player for the Avs last night, AJ?
Scott Wedgwood.
I buy that for sure.
Yeah.
A lot easier to win 4-1 when you don't give up a goal for the first 55 minutes of the game. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. That's all I got. Any final thoughts?
No. I'm excited for more games.
Me too. Can't wait for tomorrow.
We have a whole afternoon of meetings to get to, so
that is
let's
true.
Jump out of here.
We do have to go do more work. We appreciate everyone hanging out on this one. Like, subscribe, tell all your friends to watch us. You know, we're really trying to grow the show this year, and we got a bunch of cool stuff planned. So we appreciate y'all. This has been the DNVR Avalanche Podcast presented by Bet365, and we will see you pregame tomorrow.
We all silly like the mayor.